What's up, faithful listeners? You're back. We're back. It's Thursday, August 18th, 2016. Right on the cusp of a big fight coming up this weekend. Joe's back in the office with us tonight. We've got a few things to talk about. Some interesting things going on, some funnier stuff happening. Thanks for listening, man. We're ready to light this candle. Let's get going. Joe, what's up, man?
Oh, Connor. He just couldn't resist. He just had to throw that bottle.
For fuck's sake, Connor. Can you believe Dana White's got to go out there and act day in and day out? He's got to act like a babysitter for professional fighters.
That's how it's done in Dublin.
Yeah, so, it must be, man. But you could just see, I mean, you didn't really see Dana White in the video, but you could hear it in his voice, the cringing when McGregor is southpaw style, just whipping rock star bottles. Or was it Monster? He's just whipping on the audience. That's like,
how many shots do you think Dana White probably ripped about 3 shots as soon as he left that stage? Like, Jesus Christ.
3 shots of steroids?
Well, two shots, one to calm his stress, another one to say, hey, doesn't matter. You know how much my fucking pay-per-view sales went up? Love it.
Yeah, he sure did. No, you're right, though. It's a dream come true, man. He just let McGregor rip, let him get going, and then off you go, man. It sells. It sells itself. These two guys create a persona that they absolutely hate each other. The last fight was a bloody, brutal Donnybrook, and everybody was just wrecked at the end of that fight. I mean, Diaz was bludgeoned, man. He was a bloody pus bag. But he won the fight. So, hey, that's even better. Fortunately, yet unfortunately for me, man, it's a big weekend coming up. Going to take a little hiatus and head up to the great state of Illinois, to Wrigleyville. I'm not going to catch a Cubs game, unfortunately. They're not going to be in town, but me and the little lady and some close friends are going to go check out Pearl Jam Saturday night at Wrigley and then Monday night at Wrigley too. And I'm going to probably feed my face as much as I can.
Good for you. Don't call this man daughter. Good for you.
It's going to be a grunge rockin' Chicago style Wrigleyville weekend. I'm going to eat Chicago beef and chug old styles and might even get real crazy. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to it. So it'll be a great time. Unfortunately, we're going to miss this fight. I don't know that concert's going to have the potential to run pretty late into Saturday night, and I don't know that we're going to be able to get out of there and go find a bar that we got it aired. But you know what? It's a possibility we get out of the concert. It did 12 back near the hotels around 1 o'clock, 1:30 Chicago time. We still might be able to catch this fight. So I'm going to give it a shot, man. I hope to. I'm looking forward to it.
Eddie better plan on playing until 2 in the morning because these UFC cards, you better, if you're going to sit down at a bar or order this pay-per-view fight, you better make that your only plan with how long these cards run. Because these main events don't come on until about 12:30, 1 o'clock.
That's right. We're going to be Chicago time, so we'll be an hour behind Eastern time. But it might be, the issue I have is if it's supposed to rain Saturday night, and if there's a little bit of a rain delay, they'll extend the curfew. At least they did in 2013. They'll extend the curfew, and they'll play till they finish the show, which they better, because if these are expensive tickets, man, I want to hear the whole show. So we could be there. I mean, look, I'm there for the show. But I'll read about the fight in the morning, or I'll hop online when we get back to the hotel and find out what's going on. But unfortunately, this is a pretty anticipated fight. I wanted to see this. I enjoyed the first butting of heads with these two Rams, and it already started off with fireworks. You saw the press conference. Bottle slinging, fingers flying. I have to laugh at the entourage guys that are all, everybody's talking shit to everybody back and forth. Dana White's acting like the parent. Connor, don't throw that. Connor, don't do that.
I just wish Nate Diaz could give me something a little more original than the finger flip. I mean, he did that the last time. I will give Conor McGregor one credit. He wins the trash-talking battle every time. He is always original with his trash talk, where Nate Diaz, I mean, I can only hear so many times, I don't give a fuck, with his middle finger raised. I don't know. After a while, come on, Nate. I know you're a fighter. You're not an entertainer. Like, Conor sometimes seems to forget that he's a fighter. He thinks he's maybe an entertainer first, then a fighter. Nate Diaz is strictly just a fighter. I agree with that.
And we touched on that before, man. McGregor seems to be uber aware of the camera. Likes to play up to it. Definitely acknowledges that he's on it. He likes being a star. He likes selling himself. You know, hey, that's whatever. I'm not coming down on that. Not trying to.
Well, sure. I mean, it's made him a lot of money. It sells a lot of tickets. I get it. I get that persona. But at the end of the day, Conor, you need to realize you have a real fight in front of you, and this guy choked you out the last time. You might want to be on your P's and Q's and stop worrying about the cameras for once and worrying about how you're going to beat this guy. Because in my opinion, I really think his career depends on it, because we're not going to keep looking at this guy seriously if he keeps getting beat. He can't lose to this guy twice. He's got to win this fight.
Yeah, that's hard to disagree with as much as I want to for the sake of having a good discussion. You know, he was as undressed as it got in the last fight. I mean, look, the guy's super talented. There's no doubt about it. But, you know, he wants to get right back in there. You know, you had kind of alluded to this not being the best idea for him to take this fight.
I don't think so. I think if history does show, when you jump back into a ring, sometimes you need to take a couple more fights or a fight or two just to get your confidence back after a loss, rather than jump right into it, because history shows it's not worked out for a lot of people. They do get beat again. And I don't think this is going to be much of a difference, because I think the size is going to play a difference. I think Nate Diaz really absorbed Conor McGregor's punches very well, whereas the featherweights in his division couldn't take his power. He's up with a bigger guy, weight class, who's
income tax reduction, especially for middle-income Americans. This will.
We had an interruption from the. Never mind. Yeah, no. Look, I'm with you, man. And it seems to me though too that maybe with the second fight approaching, we're forgetting that Diaz was a last-minute call-in for the last fight.
Exactly, and this is a good fighter. I have all the respect for Nate Diaz as a fighter as it is. The guy's tough as nails. But let's be honest. Let's not confuse him with Chuck Liddell now. He's not an elite-level fighter. If Conor McGregor cannot beat this kind of fighter, I know he's bigger, and that could play a big difference, but you got to wonder. I mean, it can't do good for his career if you get beat. It depends on how bad he gets beat. If he gets beat by Nate Diaz 2 times in a row, people are going to start looking at him like, okay, yeah, this guy's entertaining, he trash talks, but maybe now he should just go to the WWE, because I really can't take him that serious as a big-time fighter anymore.
Not if he keeps getting beat. But again, Nate Diaz didn't have a camp the last fight, didn't really train. I mean, he was just in shape. And if you watch that last fight, McGregor came out pretty beat in the second round. Diaz was in shape for a guy who just took a phone call. So now that he's had time to prepare for this fight, you can only imagine that he's more in shape now. I don't know. That also, conversely, we talked about this the last time, conversely could mean that McGregor's had more time to prepare for a fighter like Nick Diaz. He's faced him once, and now he's had the ability to study him over a long stretch of time to understand what he wants to do and how he wants to counter a lot of these attacks. So, you know what, maybe this is a better fight. And the UFC dream come true is if McGregor knocks him out in the third round. That's a dream come true, to just have an absolute epic war for 3 rounds, and McGregor chokes him out, knocks him out, something like that happens. And then this can set up for about 8 months from now for them to fight again.
I don't know. I would like to see for Conor McGregor, as a Conor McGregor fan, and seeing, him being the box office star of this sport, because let's face it, Nate Diaz will never be a star in the UFC.
No,
he's not built. He's not built for that. His resume shows that he's a 10-time loss guy. He's not very his personality. He's not very colorful, as you would say. Conor McGregor. I mean, Conor McGregor is a guy who needs to win this fight. And if you're Dana White, you're probably sitting there going, "Man, I hope Conor wins this fight." Yeah. Because if he doesn't, it's not like he's not as marketable. Nate Diaz is not nearly as marketable as Conor McGregor. And if he loses another time, not to sound like a broken record, but if he loses another time to this guy, it's really going to hurt his brand. I don't see how it won't.
Well, Nate Diaz is kind of your, he's blue-collar boring. Blue-collar can be exciting sometimes. Blue-collar can be very exciting sometimes. But he is kind of blue-collar boring. He doesn't mean to be, but like you said, he's really generic with the middle finger and the screw you stuff. Come on, dude, just don't talk. Just go fight. Do what you got to do, because the guy's tough as nails, and he's a damn good fighter. For the UFC, for this weight class, for the sake of the excitement, yeah, McGregor's got to win this fight if he wants to continue to be a draw. Things go bad if he doesn't win this fight. Things get boring.
Yeah, he has to win this fight. That's that's the bottom line. And I really think he needs to buckle down and really act like he needs to win this fight, because, like I said,
on a similar subject here, the UFC is right now, they're dying for a star. They're doing well. I'm not suggesting that they're floundering or struggling financially or not as interesting or not a draw, but they really do need somebody, because, look, over the last year, no more Ronda. The mystery that was McGregor got put away. What's his name? Brock Lesnar's just not going to be the guy you want at the heavyweight ranks. John Jones can't stay out of trouble. I love Daniel Cormier. I really do. I think he's got the potential to be a very good champion, but is he that exciting? Do people go crazy? No. Chris Weidman is another guy who started to get a really nice fan base. He was, he was Captain America, and then Luke Rockhold came in and busted him up, and then Rockhold falls. Right? Didn't Rockhold get beat in his last fight? Yeah, Michael Bisping beat him. So the UFC really needs, and I don't know, maybe they don't need it. Maybe I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but it feels like to me they just need that presence of somebody to be the champion. Look, when Ronda was at the top of her game, that was big news. And Holly Holm, Miesha Tate, they can't hold on to the belt. Amanda Nunes is a very good fighter, but is she that exciting? Is she that? I mean, what's the big deal about her that she?
No, she's liable to get beaten in her next fight by somebody. I
think she's a very good fighter.
All roads lead, because to become a star, not only do you have to be a great fighter, but you have to be what Conor McGregor already is. I don't have any question. I know the guy's a great entertainer, a hell of a trash talker. He's one of the best I've ever seen at just original trash talk. But is he, the question with Conor McGregor is he the goods? Like, is he a fighter that you're going to want to watch every time? And I know he's always an exciting fight. The guy comes to fight. There's no doubt about it. But is he that good is the question.
Is he as good as these two beers I just sucked down? I don't know.
Absolutely not. Not even close. But that's on a whole different level right there. But the Irishman, the Irishman has to be the key. He has to be the key. He is going to carry the sport. And if you're Dana White, I'm sure you're sitting at ringside going, or Octagon for that matter, by the Octagon going, Conor, don't fuck this up. You got to win this fight.
Yeah, he's got his fingers crossed. He really does. I mean, the rest of the card in this fight. We can talk a little bit about Rumble Johnson and Teixeira. Good. That'll probably, like we said, that'll be an exciting fight. Be a good fight, not a great fight. A couple other names in here just don't ring a bell. Marcos and Casey and Pennington Phillips in the ladies' ranks. Those girls always put on a great show, but not overly exciting. The kid that you wanted to talk a little bit about was Cody No Love Garbrandt from Cincinnati, Ohio. 9-0.
Cody Garbrandt's from Claymont, Ohio.
Claymont?
Claymont, Ohio, 30 minutes down 77 south. Correct.
Okay. So he's really more up in your neck of the woods there.
Yeah, very, very, very close. Local kid. Like I said, good buddy of mine. Shout out Adam Haas. Used to wrestle with him back in their high school days. State championship wrestling.
Well, he was a junior Olympian?
Yep. Junior Olympian. Yeah. And this kid was a state champion. This kid was the goods.
Yeah, that's no joke. But Cody Garbrandt, look, he might be somebody that's rising in this weight class in the 135-pound ranks. He might just be somebody that's interesting. He's 9-0. He's winning some fights. Let's see. I always like to root for the kid from Ohio sometime or another. I mean, he could be interesting, but again, until some of these guys, they got to earn their position as a top contender, and if they can get into that mix and then actually make a show out of it, the showmanship aspect of this, the moment that slips away, it's really uninteresting because we've seen uninteresting title fights. Look at boxing. I know you love boxing. That is you're probably your first and foremost as far as the combat sports. That is probably your favorite.
It is. I'm the last of one of the last of a dying breed that still holds on hope for that sport. But I lose faith in it every day. But that's a whole nother story. And here nor there. But
I watched that Andre Ward fight with you the other night, and I would have preferred to watch somebody build a house out of Lincoln logs. It was horrible.
I completely understand with you. I'm with you on that one. And the problem, what I love so much about the UFC, and I know I've touched on this before, and it's just so obvious that